Hi, and welcome to part 4 of this Pilates Matwork session. We're going to finish off the session lying on our sides and doing a little bit of work for the legs initially and then for the underneath waists. So, lie on your sides, and remember you have a choice in terms of head cushions. You can either have a thick head cushion, a nice substantial one, under your head and your lower arm in front of you, or you can have your arm under your head and a thin cushion supporting your head and your neck. We're going to start off with both of your legs long and straight. So find a really nice comfortable position for your body. Think about your alignment. So make sure the head is back in line with your spine. Your shoulders are stacked one on top of the other. Hips are stacked one on top of the other, as are the legs. We're going to start by bending your top knee, and you can either rest your foot on the floor and keep your knee nice and high, and then we'll just move the bottom leg, or you can rest your top knee down on the mat and the foot is resting as well. Now, the only problem with the knee being low is that the pelvis may tip forwards. So just quickly look down and check that your hips remain level wherever your knee is resting. So come into your starting position, top arm lengthening along the top thigh, or maybe in front of your chest. And as you breathe out, your bottom leg, long and straight, will lift away from the mat, and then release on the breath in. Breathe out to go up, breathe in to go down. So we're working into those inner thigh muscles, and by working the inner thighs, we are working into the pelvic floor muscles. You might feel a little bit of length through that underneath side of that hip, outside of the hip, and that strength building up in the inner thigh. The foot is as relaxed as possible, so keep it just really heavy at the bottom of your leg rather than letting the foot try to pull you up. Let's do just one more set. And then let your bottom leg stay resting. Let's straighten the top leg. And now bend both of the legs together just a little bit, and encourage your feet to be back in line with your bum. And we'll come into oyster position. So again, hips are level, shoulders are level. There's that sense of length into the waists. And as you breathe out, squeezing your heels together, the top knee rises up. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to squeeze and lift. And breathe in to lower and rest. We'll do a few more sets. And then, as we've been doing with some of the other exercises in the session, we're going to add on a few variations to this particular exercise. So, the next time your knee comes up, let's also bring your feet up. Just check that bottom knee stays heavy, rest the top knee, and then rest the feet. Breathe out, knee goes up, breathe in, feet come up. Breathe out, lower the knee, breathe in, lower the feet. So you should feel a little bit more work around that top hip as your feet go up. But also now your bottom leg is more active than before. When the feet were just staying on the mat, the bottom leg was passive. Now the bottom leg has to work as well. Let's do 2 more sets. And then we're going to take this into another exercise. Last one. Good. So the final version is our froggy torpedo. So we start off everything the same. You lift your top knee, you lift your feet. Now we're going to stretch your legs down the mat until they glue together and they're hovering off the floor. That's your torpedo. Pull your knees back wide apart, rest the top knee, rest the feet. Breathe out, knee goes up, breathe in, feet go up. Breathe out, stretch the legs down the mat, keeping your balance. Breathe in to return, and breathe out to lower the knee, breathe in to lower the feet. We'll do 2 more sets. So we're trying to keep a long, strong, balanced spine as we move the legs backwards and forwards. Good. well done. So legs will stay more passive for the next exercise. You have a choice. If you prefer not to push yourself up into your elbow into this position and to do a little bit of work through the shoulder and the arm, then you'll stay on your side and you can stretch your legs down the mat, and instead of working your upper body, you're going to work your top waist and come into torpedo 3. Breathing out as the legs lift and breathing in as they lower. So you're focusing on that leg movement to strengthen the top waist. The rest of us are going to come onto our elbows. Now, a couple of things. First of all, the elbow must be right under the shoulder joint. Just make sure that alignment is spot on, otherwise the shoulder can strain. Your legs will be straight. Certainly try it with straight legs to begin with, and if you need an easier option, I'll tell you what to do. So, your top arm will lengthen along the top thigh, ideally. The problem is that if you have it in front of your chest, it will obviously make you more stable, but you may use that arm to lift you, whereas I want your underneath waist to do the lifting. So let's try. Feet flexed or relaxed. You're basically pushing into your ankle joint and your elbow joint to lift your underneath hip from your waist. So let's see if we can do that. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, push up and breathe in as you come down. Breathe out to lift and breathe in to lower. If this is feeling impossible, bend your knees a little bit, just a fraction, and you can push from your knees rather than from your feet. So it should make it easier. You will tip slightly forwards, but the key is that you're still working the underneath waist. Let's try to do 2 more sets, whichever version you're doing, and maybe to make it more challenging, your arm can float up with your bottom hip. Last one. And then you're going to flip yourself up to sitting, push yourself up. We're going to do a little counter stretch, so that underneath side we want to lengthen, so lift your underneath arm and stretch over away from that side. Hold that for a couple of breaths and then lift yourself back out, and let's work the other side of the body. So I'm going to bring my head to this end of the mat, legs stretched down. The bottom arm for me is coming under my head, maybe your bottom arm is in front. Legs are both straight to begin with, we're stacked one on top of the other, and we're going to repeat that sequence, starting off with the inner thigh lift. So maybe the top arm is along your top hip, maybe it's in front of your chest. The top knee can bend, either the foot planting on the floor, the knee is high, or the knee rests down onto the mat and the foot rests down. So whichever version you've chosen, hips stay level, shoulders are level, and the bottom leg comes up and releases down. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. So you're working into that inner thigh muscle, which connects to our pelvic floor to strengthen the inside of the body. You might feel a little stretch into the outside of your bottom hip. This can be a little uncomfortable on that hip because of the weight you're placing into the joint. So just do it with caution. You could always put a little cushion under that bottom hip if you needed to. We'll do 1 more set. And then lengthen the top leg back down, bend both of your knees to bringing the feet back in line with your bum. So the knees are quite far away from you. Top hand again along the top hip or in front of the chest. Keeping the hips level as you breathe out, top knee rises. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to release. We'll do a few more sets, maybe after this one 2 more. Working on that hip mobility, that lateral rotation of your thigh inside your hip. Strengthening the glutes and the outer thighs. Then let's add in the foot lift. knee stays down, top knee comes up, both of the feet rise up, lower the knee, lower the feet. Breathe out to lift, breathe in, feet come up, breathe out to lower the knee, breathe in to lower the feet. We'll do 3 more. Again, squeezing those heels together really fires up those muscles that we're targeting. Keeping your balance. Last one. And then let's finish with the froggy torpedo. So we do everything the same, but then we lengthen the legs down the mat. So we're going to draw the tummy to the spine, float the top knee, float the feet. Both legs stretch down the mat, glue them together as you hover. Pull the knees back wide, lower the top knee, lower the feet. Breathe out, knee comes up. Breathe in, feet come up. Breathe out to extend the legs. Breathe in to return. Breathe out to lower the knee. Breathe in to lower the feet. And we'll do 2 more sets. Keeping a really strong center as you work through those legs. Let the breath help you to engage those muscles and to keep your balance. Well done. Let's finish with the elbow plank. So we're going to push yourself up onto your elbow. Remember that you can instead stay on your side and lift both of your legs, torpedo 3. So elbow plank, we're going to make sure that elbow joint is directly under the shoulder joint. The legs will be straight down to the bottom of the mat. Top arm ideally along the top hip. You could have it in front of the chest, but don't rely on it to help you to lift. So let's see how the other side compares to the first side. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, push down into the feet and the elbow to lift. And breathe in to release. Breathe out to come up. Breathe in to go down. Remember, you can make it easier by very softly bending the knees. And you push from the knees rather than from the feet, which should make it a little easier to find that lift. And if you want more challenge with the straight legs, when your underneath hip lifts up, your arm lifts up. Last one. When you're finished, push yourself up again and do that counter stretch. So your underneath arm will come up to the ceiling and you'll stretch away from the side you've been working. So those muscles lengthen and release, and hopefully you won't feel too stiff tomorrow. Come back down with your hand, come back onto your back. We're going to finish with what's called a banana stretch, and hopefully I can demonstrate this sufficiently with the space I have. So you're going to first of all need plenty of room to stretch your legs to the bottom of your mat. Your head will rest on a cushion. Your arms are going to come upwards and then they go backwards. So remember, they don't have to touch the floor. They want to just be kind of in ribcage closure position where you can feel that you still have a sense of connection at the front of the body rather than flopping and the chest lifting. So hold it nice and strong through the body. Now I want you to walk both of your legs over to the right, as far as you can comfortably walk them. And you'll feel a stretch coming into that left side. Then if you can, move your arms across to the right as well, and move your head over to the right. Push that left shoulder back as far as you can, so that stays anchored onto the floor. And your body has come into this big, long curve, a banana shape. We're going to breathe into that left side of the body. One last big breath in and out. Bring your arms and your head back to the center. Bring your legs back to the center and we go the other way. Legs to the left, as far as you can reach them. Arms over to the left, head over to the left. Keep that right shoulder pulling back and breathe now into that right side of the body. Deep, wide breaths. Feel that right side lengthening, that left side shortening. Last big breath. Slowly bring your head and your arms back to the center. Bring your legs back to the center. And you can let your arms return to your sides. Maybe you want to give your knees a little hug to the chest, or just maybe do another stretch from side to side, releasing any tension in your body. That's the end of part 4. Really good work today. Well done. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you for another session another day. Bye for now. Well done.